Hi there. I've seen a lot of challenge runs done of a lot of different run games, but there's a couple that seem to get overlooked that are pretty dang good for you. The Green Silent Line here. I'm going to be emulating off of the PSP version. Pretty much because PS2 emulation is a colossal pain in the neck, and well, as much as I tried to actually record it up with PSP itself, that kind of prefer the controls on, it's a whole another thing. It wasn't quite happy. It wasn't quite working. Anyhow, what runs on this will consist of, since it's a little bit of a different format. There's two sections to this, and I will consider completion to be basically getting to the end of each one. So going through each single one in this area right here, and just making it to the end of these. Simple enough. We'll have some themed ones, we'll have some challenge ones. I've had a few that have been already. By a few, I mean like 35 of them at this point. I don't know, there were a fair number. Most of them start off pretty much the same way, so I'm actually going to skip the first intro there, the test that it starts off with. So I'm going to be starting with this guy. This first one, since I'm mostly going to be testing, seeing if any kind of problems come up along the way, this one will be more of a themed one. Alright, so this first one now, like I said, it's going to be more of a casual one, themed one. Obviously Bloodborne came out recently. It's not a very difficult challenge, but haven't exactly done a shotgun and knife run on this one. So most of them, this is your starting guy, kind of garbage at literally everything, and I can do a starting run as well, but that one is kind of slow, to be honest. Anyhow, I'll just be, I guess, taking requests as time goes on. So normally I like to start these by just selling all this stuff. Actually, you can save a little bit of money by switching to these reverse joints here. So I should be able to start off with a shotgun and knife from the get-go. A little bit less than the ones you start with. That's enough. Just, so that'll work. Now actually, I say this one's really good for challenge runs, simply because you can get a lot of stuff going very early. You can actually get enough money to get almost, I'd say at least half of a build done, probably within the first few minutes. So this first guy is, well, he barely moves. Granted, he's the first guy, but doesn't even try. Now, I'm going to make the assumption here that, frankly, anybody that would be looking this up has actually played these games before. But yeah, specifically in these two, as far as when it was useful, there's a lot of blade tracking that goes on, so you can basically jump in the air and cut somebody in the face. Actually, I had no idea of this when growing up with it. They had this whole illustration in the manual, and I cannot make heads or tails of it. Now the range on it varies, so sometimes I'm going to miss it here. It's actually something that makes blade-only runs kind of easy, but a lot of randomness goes on with it. So personally, I didn't have a whole lot of fun with the blade run. At least that last time, it actually ended up doing a lot more than the other times. Speed, location, all of that takes into account. So sometimes they can be underwhelming, sometimes they can be very good. A good bit of randomness to it. Now this right here is pretty much what lets you start off any build you want. Get two of these things, so you get an extra 60 grand for whatever you really want to do. In this case, we'll need to go faster. switch out the FCS if there's a chance to do so. I like this one. So, as far as this version, controls are very slightly different. Actually, instead of the triggers for up and down, it's you got triangle and circle for that. Instead of circle for your left hand, now you got down on the D-pad instead. It doesn't seem like a huge change, but honestly, I find it more comfortable. Actually, found it difficult to go back to the older ones after trying this. The only downside of emulating it off a regular controller, it's a little bit more convenient with the nub and the D-pad right next to each other. But it's not a huge deal. Okay, so shopping left enough for actually getting a better head here. 9 times out of 10, I actually just end up sticking with this guy. It's cheap, it does its job well. And while this thing is clunky, it's not bad. You can upgrade the cutting object here too. I'm sure it's going to get at least a little bit annoying how we're doing this. I kind of like doing it one part at a time. Okay, initial setup is done. Got him some nice new colors here. Got him an emblem. And we'll be starting off on all the good stuff next time.